FBI searches Trump's Mar A Lago home. The unprecedented search of the home of a former president shocked Republicans and Democrats alike and could be related to a number of ongoing legal issues. Federal authorities raided Donald Trump's Florida resort home Monday, the former president revealed in a statement, vastly amping up the legal woes Trump faces as he mulls a third term for the White House.
My beautiful home Mar A Lago in Palm Beach, Florida is currently under siege, raided and occupied by a large group of FBI agents, Trump said in a statement that appeared to reveal both outrage and shock that the ongoing Department of Justice investigation surrounding Trump would go this far. He called it dark times for our nation, and blamed Democrats for using the justice system to keep him from running in 2024, although the Justice Department is not a political entity. After working and cooperating with the relevant government agencies, this unannounced raid at my home was not necessary or appropriate, Trump said, adding that agents even broke into my safe. Nothing like this has ever happened to a president of the United States before, Trump said. The former president, who spends much of his summer days at his golf course property in New Jersey, was not home during the search. In Manhattan, Trump was walking to his car Monday evening and did not respond to shouted questions from reporters. The disclosure was shocking to a wide swath of individuals, from Trump himself, who has skated out of legal troubles his entire career in private business and public life, to frustrated rank-and-file Democrats, who have complained that Attorney General Merrick Garland was not moving quickly enough or aggressively enough against Trump. The unprecedented search of the home of a former president could only be done with approval from a judge and a convincing argument that evidence of a crime was within the walls of Mar A Lago. It is not necessarily connected to a crime Trump is believed to have committed but could be evidence of another crime. If the search is indeed connected to Trump himself, it could be related to a number of issues, including the investigation of January 6 and the disclosure by the National Archives and Records Administration that Trump had taken classified documents with him to his Florida resort. In February, the National Archives said it had found classified documents in 15 boxes of White House records stored at Mar A Lago. The agency said at the time that the matter was sent to the Justice Department.
Mark Elias, a Democratic Party lawyer who was counsel for both Hillary Clinton and John Kerry during their presidential runs, tweeted that the seemingly lesser infraction of taking or destroying federal documents carried a hefty price for someone with Trump's ambitions. Someone who unlawfully conceals, removes or damages material filed or deposited with any clerk of the court of other federal judicial or public officers may be imprisoned for as long as 3 years and barred from running for office, Elias said, citing U.S. Code. In a lengthy, grievance-ridden statement, Trump compared the United States to broken, third-world countries, and brought up his 2 impeachments, the inquiry into Russia's meddling in the 2016 election and Clinton's emails. As they watch my endorsed candidates win big victories, and see my dominance in all polls, they are trying to stop me, Trump said, offering a cherry-picked assessment of political polls and the performance of congressional and gubernatorial candidates he has endorsed. Trump led in a straw poll among Republican contenders at the Conservative Political Action Conference meeting in Texas over the weekend, but a national poll showed him losing in a rematch with President Joe Biden, who himself suffers from low approval ratings. Joyce Aileen, a former federal prosecutor for 25 years, said the search was legal and cautioned against drawing conclusions about what it means. We don't know yet what crimes the FBI had sufficient evidence of to convince a federal judge there was probable cause to search Trump's residence, but the execution of a search warrant isn't a raid, Aileen tweeted. It's a judicially overseen process. Still unknown, the subject of the search. The House committee investigating the January 6 insurrection held its most recent hearing 2 weeks ago, centering on Trump's role that day. But it is unclear if the committee will recommend criminal charges against the former president. Democrats in the left wing of the party have been openly exasperated with Garland, worried he is going too slowly to indict Trump before critical elections or will simply refrain from charging Trump at all, either because there is not enough evidence to get a conviction or because he might be concerned of the damage such a case would do to the nation. Monday's search, while it may be about National Archives papers or another matter, indicates that the Justice Department is not sparing Trump himself from its inquiry. We have to hold accountable every person who is criminally responsible for trying to overturn a legitimate election, Garland said, and we must do it in a way filled with integrity and professionalism, Garland told reporters last month after they quizzed him about a potential Trump indictment. No one is above the law, Garland said. A poll last month by the Marist Institute for Public Opinion found that 57% of Americans believe Trump deserves at least some of the blame for the January 6 attack on the Capitol, and half believe he should be charged. But the poll also found that barely a fourth of Americans, 28%, believe the former president will face an indictment.